Good morning. We are in the Shilla Hotel of Korea. We are with us Alice Chen, who is the representative of GITA. We are going to meet and ask some of the concerns of blockchain today. Welcome.
Hi, Sanjay. Nice to be here, and thank you for inviting me. I'm actually the co-founder and general counsel for InvestaCrowd, which is a licensed real estate platform out of Singapore. We have a capital markets license to deal in securities, and what we're doing now is tokenizing real estate and bring that to a secondary market, which we're creating to trade securitized tokens. And the application process is going to be put forward very, very soon. But I'm also here representing here at Beyond Blocks GITA, which is a new global alliance that we just put together as of today. I am one of the foundation council members. We're bringing all of the various industry members, blockchain associations, exchanges, funds, and other parties in the industry so that we can create some transparency and a self-disclosure to help investors and also ICO issuers.
Okay, could you please elaborate, because many of the companies these days, in the form of reverse ICOs are also coming up with the blockchain technology and its uses, and they are considering various business models. So how Investa is different from those models?
Yeah, it's actually interesting that you mentioned the reverse ICOs. I guess we would be considered a reverse ICO. So InvestaCrowd is an operating and existing platform. It's been in operations for about 4 years now, and it has a capital markets license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Now, in the real estate space itself, we struggle with a couple of main issues, which is access and liquidity. Access in that most people do not have the ability to invest into commercial real estate. You need to be have millions and millions of capital to even have a small portion of a commercial real estate asset. So that's number one. And two, once you invest into it, there's no liquidity. You are in it for the long haul, whether it's a 5-year holding period or 10-year holding period. So how blockchain can help with the real estate investment process is that if you can start putting your investments in smart contracts by tokenizing these assets, you immediately create liquidity. Now, there is no liquidity at the moment because there are no securities exchanges, right? And so that's why InvestaCrowd is building a tokenized securities exchange to trade real estate tokenized assets.
Okay, so we would like to know about the status of blockchain regulations in Singapore, because you have come up with a very unique model. We also considered it a very unique model. But how do you think in upcoming days Singapore government is going to consider these regulations?
So I would like to mention I'm also a committee member of the MAS task force and the regulatory subcommittee of Access Group, which is the Singapore Cryptocurrency and Blockchain Association. Now, our involvement with the regulators is to help them understand, educate them, the legal landscape actually of the whole crypto industry, because regulators are, as you know, very much behind the whole technology and innovation industry. So Singapore, as you said, has some creative structures. Well, they haven't formally come out with any specific ICO regulations. As we all know, most jurisdictions are still analyzing this area under existing securities regulations. So the first assessment is whether your token issuance falls under current securities regulations. And how do you determine that? Well, most issuers get a legal opinion, right? And then once you have a legal opinion, you have to still do AML and KYC. At least this is according to Singapore standards or the soon to be implemented regulations under the Payment Services Bill. So I'll talk a little bit about the Payment Services Bill, which currently crypto exchanges are not regulated in Singapore. But the proposed regulations will regulate activities involving cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies in itself is not regulated, but any activities, which means exchanges that trade cryptocurrencies, broker-dealers that deal in cryptocurrencies, will have to be regulated. And what that regulation initially will mean, everyone has to do KYC and AML now.
Okay, so on a personal note, how do you see the Korean market and the Korean regulations compared to the Singapore regulations?
Well, I think Korea has actually come out with a ban on ICOs. And that's why you're seeing an influx of Korean ICOs being launched out of Singapore. This raises a really interesting question because I think due to the decentralized nature of this technology, unlike previous fundraising projects where you had to be concerned about, for example, US regulators, it offers what I like to call regulatory arbitrage. So you go forum shopping, you go shop for the most friendly jurisdictions, and Singapore has obviously become one of the front runners. Switzerland, there's also other jurisdictions, but Singapore being a financial hub, as well as a technology hub, has become a very attractive jurisdiction. So a lot of Korean companies have come to Singapore to issue their ICOs.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. It was very nice to talk to you, Alice.
Thank you, Sanjay, for having me.